In November 2006, Nintendo released the Wii, and it quickly became one of their best-selling consoles, with over 101.6 million units sold. So, no one was surprised when Nintendo tried to capitalize on this success by releasing the Wii U. But we all know how that ended. The Wii U was a massive failure for Nintendo, and today I want to discuss the possibility of history repeating itself. At the time of recording, the Switch 2 has not been officially announced yet, and we don't even know if it'll actually be called the Switch 2. The next iteration of the Switch sounds like a guaranteed slam dunk. But so did the Wii U. I am a little worried that the Switch 2 will not live up to the hype of the original. In this video, I want to lay out the major concerns that I have for the Switch 2 release, and please comment down below if you think these concerns are justified. I started thinking about this last week when I was working on my Wii U video, and I don't think that something like the Wii U situation is out of the realm of possibility of happening again. So let's take a dive on what may go wrong with the Switch 2's launch. And we can begin with the launch of the Switch. The Switch launched in 2017 to widespread praise. It quickly became one of Nintendo's best-selling and best-reviewed consoles ever. But why was it so successful? Back in 2017, the hybrid design of the Switch was incredibly unique. People were enamored by the Joy-Cons, the portability, and the versatility that the Switch offered, and it was a lot to be excited about back then. I can't blame anyone for feeling that way in 2017. The concept was revolutionary, it was brand new, it felt exciting. And on top of that, the Switch launched with one of the best launch titles I have ever seen for any console: The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I've talked about Breath of the Wild endlessly, but my thoughts remain the same. In 2017, this game made a statement. It brought life and excitement to the gaming community and was nothing short of a masterpiece. Technically, you could play Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, but let's be honest, everybody was trying to play it on the Switch. Speaking of the Wii U, here's something funny. Did you know that the Switch released at a cheaper price than the Wii U? Let that sink in. The Switch was cheaper than the Wii U. The Switch was priced competitively compared to other consoles at the time, and arguably still is. All of these factors convinced gamers and a broad audience that the Switch was worth buying, and Nintendo learned from their Wii U mistakes and executed a masterful launch with the Switch. But a lot has changed since the Switch's launch, like the rise of competition. It's fair to say that the Switch's success has transformed the gaming landscape over its lifespan, and since its launch, the Switch has faced a surge in competition. Take the Steam Deck, for example. It's become incredibly popular among PC gamers by offering access to most of their Steam library on the go. And back in the day, people often referred to the Switch as a side console. Many use it alongside a PC or PlayStation, primarily for gaming on the go or in bed. With the release of the Steam Deck, most of those gamers now have the option to continue playing their games they already own, making the Switch feel obsolete. The same could be said about the PlayStation Portal. Sure, it can only be used via Wi-Fi, but many people now have a strong enough internet to make that a non-issue. Believe me when I say the Portal may rely on streaming, but the games look far better than what the Switch offers graphically. And that is a key takeaway. The newer handhelds are far more powerful than the Switch, and in some cases more versatile. The Steam Deck, for instance, is practically a mini computer. Fun fact, my first ever stream was done through my Steam Deck. It can also emulate almost every retro console for free, whereas the Nintendo Switch will require a subscription to access similar games. Additionally, the Steam Deck and the Portal have far better third-party support than the Switch, and games like Call of Duty, Elden Ring, and Warhammer are already available on PC and PSN. There are even rumors now that Xbox and Sony are working on portable consoles similar to the Switch. Competitors have learned from the success of the Switch and have adapted. Now the question is, how will the Switch adapt? There are so many rumors about the Switch 2, but not enough to make me confident that it will be a guaranteed success. For starters, rumors suggest that the Switch 2 will have significantly better graphics than the original Switch, likely comparable to the PS4 and the Xbox One X, not the PS5 and the Series X. Seriously, the Switch 2 is already rumored to fall behind systems like the Steam Deck in terms of graphics. But it's not all bad. The Switch 2 is expected to feature a much improved GPU, higher resolution, and enhanced visual effects. Graphics alone are not a deal breaker for most people, but it's still something to keep in mind. My bigger concern is third-party support. Nintendo seems to have accepted that they will not be receiving all of the PS5 and Xbox games, but I'm not entirely sure that's the right approach. Many gamers only use their Switch when Nintendo drops a major exclusive, like Mario or Zelda. Third-party support on the current Switch is already limited, and I'm worried Nintendo isn't doing enough to change that for the Switch 2. Fans also expect innovation beyond hardware. For instance, the Switch's online services desperately need improvement. Its current infrastructure offers subpar multiplayer gameplay and relies on external voice chat apps. Like, seriously, what is that? Like, why do I have to download an app to use voice chat? Additionally, the Switch's online subscription needs a major overhaul. Yes, it is cheaper than Game Pass or PSN, but it also is the worst value. The PlayStation and Xbox offer extensive libraries, including third-party support and day one releases. And what about backwards compatibility? It's fair to assume that Switch games will work on the new system, but what about Wii games, Wii U games? I mean, DS and 3DS games too. If games like that sound far-fetched working on your Switch 2, that is Nintendo propaganda at its finest, because Sony and Xbox have already discovered ways to provide their older titles on their new systems. PlayStation and Xbox both offer backwards compatibility for all of their older consoles, so why can't Nintendo? And then there is pricing. The PlayStation Portal is priced competitively at $200 and just got an update that does not require you to have a PS5 for it to work. Now, how much will the Switch 2 cost? We don't know yet, but if it is priced similar to a Steam Deck, it needs to have the upgrades that will justify that price. Upgrades like newer Joy-Cons that hopefully don't drift. I'm sick and tired of spending $80 on a pair of Joy-Cons that I'm afraid to use because they're just so poorly made. And what we have seen on the leaks, it looks like Nintendo is going to keep a similar design to the original Switch, which personally has me a little worried. The Portal and the Steam Deck have done a really great job to have a really big portable console like that feel comfortable. I just think that the Switch nowadays is the least comfortable portable console that we have. Joy-Cons are just not comfortable, and I know that there are other options and other controllers that you can buy to make it more comfortable, but I don't see why they can't just make it come out of the box like that. Like, you don't have to buy additional items for the Steam Deck or the Portal to make those feel comfortable in your hands. Again, we don't know. It's way too early. Nothing has been announced, but these are just some of the red flags that I'm seeing. The Switch 2 faces some real tough competition, and if it doesn't innovate significantly enough, it might struggle to replicate the original Switch's success. I want the Switch 2 to succeed because I want Nintendo to thrive and continue to make great games, but I'm worried that they might fall into the same trap that they did with the Wii U. Do they think that the Switch name alone will carry the next console? Is a more powerful Switch actually enough? Do you think Nintendo will be able to replicate the Switch's success with the Switch 2, or is the market too saturated now? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you. Bye.